Good afternoon, eighth graders. It is Wednesday and we are in reading class today with Mrs. Howie. If you are logging on to Google Classroom, that means that you have already done your Tween Tribune article for today. I pulled that from Sunday's Associated Press. It is about theater and music coming back into the classroom. You've done that. Hopefully you've taken that quiz and responded in the comments section. At this point today, you should be reading through chapter 4. There are two things that you have to choose from. You can read chapter 4. This is called either or. It's called either or because I'm asking you to choose either number 1 or number 2. And I'm going to take a minute for each of these here so that you will get a little bit of a description so you can better decide which one fits your talent strengths and which one you desire to do. So first, number 1, the fountain scene is experienced through the eyes of our narrator, Ponyboy, in chapter 4. Most of the events of the scene are left out as he becomes unconscious after being held underwater. Your job is to rewrite the scene twice. You are going to change the point of view. The first time you rewrite the scene, you're going to rewrite the scene from Bob's point of view. And then you're going to rewrite the scene again, but from Johnny's point of view. You're going to relate details that only each of them would know in their personal circumstance. That means that if you are rewriting the scene from Bob's point of view, you don't know what Ponyboy is thinking, you don't know what Johnny's thinking, and the same is true when you do it from the other perspective. Each rewritten scene has to contain pertinent information, and you are able to use dialogue from chapter 4 to help you, but bring it in as it is specific to each person's circumstance. Each scene is 100 words. That's your choice if you feel you have a literary strength and you want to pursue that. Number 2, you may choose to do the split picture. Excuse me, split wanted poster. If you're doing number 2, chapter 4 finds Ponyboy and Johnny on the run. The authorities need 2 wanted posters to distribute to the general public. You will need to create a wanted poster informing the public of the crime. You have to create a split picture of the criminal. One side, the left side of the drawing, will represent how the greasers view Pony or Johnny, and one side, the right side, will represent what others in the public see. So you are still drawing a whole person, but on the left-hand side, you are gearing your image to how the greasers think about these two. And on the right-hand side, you are gearing the image to how the public or maybe what law enforcement might think of them based on what has happened without any spoilers. So below each split picture, so let's be clear, you're doing one wanted poster for Ponyboy, one for Johnny. You need to make sure that the items that you put below their pictures for their wanted poster is pertinent to each suspect. So each one's going to have a picture. Each one of them is going to have the amount of the reward offered. There will be a general description of the crime committed. Remember, they're not going to give away too much information on a wanted poster because the objective there is for the public to contact them if they are seen. So you don't want to get too in depth with what you saw at the fountain scene, or what you pictured, because that's just not going to be on a wanted poster. General background of the suspect, you're going to have very general family, school, more scars, marks, and other identifying information, because again, the point here is to have the public identify them. So you can pull back from chapter 1, direct characterization things like eye color, hair color, height, weight, occupation, gender, birth date. Remember, this story takes place in the mid-1960s, so if you know how old they are, you can subtract to come up with a roundabout time. So some of those things can be your decision, I guess I want to say. As long as you're in the neighborhood, you're okay. Contact information if encountered. You remember the whole point here is to have them contact. So now, of the two, A lot of people choose to do the wanted poster because it's seemingly quote unquote easier than the other, but actually the lower scores come from number 2. Why? Because you forget to put information down below, all of that information which is geared on the rubric. You must have dialogue in the rewritten fountain scene. Most people do a really good job with that. You can log on to Google Docs and start typing that. But most people typically, the grades don't look all that great with the wanted posters. You are going to use computer copy paper, one piece for each wanted poster. It can be done in pencil. It does not have to be colored. Most of them are going to be not colored. And you are going to do a very careful job attaching them to a piece of construction paper that is over on the counter. This is how we will have that out for you so that you can put those together. Remember, you need to be very careful about making sure that you have information from about each suspect on the bottom of the wanted poster. You may not get images from online and put them on the wanted poster. This is a pencil drawing because, again, we are asking you, if you feel that your artistic flair is geared to this one, then you're going to want to choose this one. So be very, very careful. On Friday, you will have a little bit of time to work on finishing things up, attaching it to the construction paper, but you're not going to have a lot of time because the majority of your time will be spent reading the next chapter. So if this is today is Wednesday, you'll be working on finishing up reading chapter 4 and deciding which one of these you want to do. This will be due on Friday, about halfway through the class period. So there is some time, but not a lot of time for you to whip it off if you don't get to it. If you don't get to where you should be today in class, see me during a study hall on Thursday. I should be back by then so that you can work toward making that due date time.